Hey again. I'm just in my car, but I forgot to do an update video on the whole Fordyce Spots kind of series. That's a nice word for it. But so for those of you that don't know, Fordyce Spots, a lot of people have them, and I'm only making these videos because, you know, the online community is so fucking confusing. It's very, very frustrating, and I'm hoping that I can prevent people from like causing self-harm or like just being so self-conscious, because, you know, like everyone is beautiful in their own right. And but even so, I understand that like looks, they affect you, like they affect your confidence. That'll affect your dating, your friendships, your family life. Like, you'll lock yourself in your room if you don't feel confident in the way that you look. If you're not happy with yourself, or you think that there's an abnormality, like, it's a serious problem. And I don't think doctors take it seriously. I personally don't believe that. I could go on, and I probably will, but like, basically, Fordyce spots are basically skin glands, and I'm no doctor, so this is just what I've read, and I've got them, so I figured I'll give my take. So essentially, they're oil glands in your skin, but they don't have pores, essentially, to get rid of, like, to just release, like, oil, essentially. Like, your skin has natural oil and shit. But anyway, I get them on my lips. Most people have them on their lips, but the problem is, I get them right in the middle there, and it causes a bit of just a slight discoloration. And, you know, they're little tiny little like dots, essentially. But my fuck if it doesn't feel like any or everybody can see them. And it's just something I'm really self-conscious of myself. But the thing is that if you look online, you go, how do I remove these? There's a few different things that you're gonna find. One of them is a CO2 laser treatment, which I've read stories on Reddit and just on different forums and shit like that, and I think through YouTube as well. But people will go and get these CO2 laser treatments that cost like $2,000 for a couple sessions. Like, that is not something that somebody who's in college, for example, like myself, can just go out and afford like willy-nilly. Like, and in college, you're looking to meet people too. So it's a perfect storm, really. And it's very, very debilitating some days. Like, it can feel that way. And just for the record, I feel better about it now. And I'm going to explain why. So basically, yes, Fordyce spots are not contagious. They're like no health hazard to you whatsoever, honestly. Like, you look it up and no health hazard. No one's concerned about it. Dermatologists are just like, yep, like, I've seen stories, and again, it's the internet, but I've read stories, comment sections. People are like, I went to the dermatologist, waited forever to see them go, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to do anything about it. The risk of scarring from some of these treatments, like the CO2 treatment, which is like a couple $1,000s, like I said, like it's like over $2,000 or something like that. It's crazy. Can cause scarring that makes it look worse than it did in the first place. And it's like, I'm gonna say something. Here's a hot take. I cannot believe that we can turn a man into a woman, but we can't fucking fix some dots on a lip or wherever the fuck you might have these like things, or any fucking skin abnormality. You would think we would have that shit down pat, but I'm an idiot, so like, what do I know? Anyway, so you can do CO2 laser treatment. You can do, there's like an electric current one too that, like, I don't really understand it. So I don't know what the tool is exactly, but it's like, I want to say it's like an electric current they use to like cut it out or something like that. And it's just, again, scarring's a huge issue. But I'm going to personally back up another guy on YouTube, and I can't remember, I think it's Fordyce Labs or something like that. I can't remember what his content channel, like his channel name is. But anyway, he goes in on his own with sterilized, like a sterilized sewing needle, or he's got like a different kind of needle, but I use a sewing needle. And I'm just saying this because I want people to know what their options are. And I really feel bad for people that don't feel confident in the way they look because of something silly like this. That I'm going to give a solution, but it's at your own risk. And so here it is. So this guy, he goes in with a needle and he basically pokes them, and, you know, he removes them. Like, he's like basically like taking them out of his lip, and it bleeds a little bit, but it doesn't bleed any worse than it bleeds for a bit and then it just stops. Again, at your own risk, because it can still cause scarring, and there's professionals on here. I'm not a professional, and like, I'm not telling you to go do this, but I'm just saying that I did it. and don't be an idiot about it. You got to use alcohol to sterilize the needle. You have to be very careful. Like, you can't just go poking around and shit like that. Like, you just be very careful, but you can do it, and try to keep it minimal, like how much you're actually doing, like at a time. Like one night, just, if there's, because they are different sizes, and you know, it's, again, it's oil glands, right? It's just, it's fucking weird. It's a very weird thing, but a lot of people have them in the corners of their mouths, and they probably don't even know they have them. But if you go in the mirror and you like push your tongue out, you'll see little tiny, there's a good chance you see little tiny ones. And the thing is just some people get them all over their lips, and it's just not a very, doesn't feel like an aesthetic thing. However, I have seen a lot of pictures and stuff of people like on Reddit with worse cases than me, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, honestly, I don't even know that I would notice like what they have. And it's kind of a paradox, and I'm sort of a hypocrite for saying that, because, you know, I'm so self-conscious of my own. But the thing is that everyone's always told me, like my family and stuff and my friends, and they're honest with me, and I make sure they are. And because I asked them, like, listen, like, I need you to be real with me. Like, can you see these? Like is it like something I should be looking to get treatment for? And they say, no, I can't see them. And it just takes me by surprise, because they are so visible, in my opinion. And lately they haven't been, and it's because, again, I've been doing that method because I don't want to pay $2,000 for the chance of scarring anyway. And I'm not happy with I wasn't happy with the way I looked anyway. So it's like, in my opinion, there was nothing to lose. And worst case, I just get some lipstick or some shit and put it over my lips, whatever. Or just deal with the scar and tell people I got the scar another way. But I haven't experienced any scarring, at least not that I know of. Like, maybe a tiny little bit, but nothing really. Like, it's better than it was. Like, seriously, I'm not kidding. It's actually better than it was. And I did it my fucking self. Watching his videos, and there's professionals like, this looks like a risk of infection. That is a risk, absolutely. Like, you have to know what risk you're taking, but be fucking careful. Sterilize your shit before you use it. Wear gloves. I don't wear gloves personally, but I wash my hands really fucking well, and I make sure I'm never touching any, like, if it starts bleeding, I'm not touching it. Like, it's just the sterile needle that goes anywhere close. And even then, you know, you never know. And I'll make another video if I experience negative consequences. Like, this is the update from the last one. Oh, and I wanted to say too, apple cider vinegar is not that effective, honestly. It just kind of left it red, and then shit was back to the way it was like a week later. I don't know, it wasn't really worth it, and I had kind of a red spot on my lip for quite a while, and it was kind of embarrassing. And anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this. So don't use irritable, and again, I didn't dilute apple cider vinegar either. I just went straight in with like the full fucking shit. But like, don't do that. And also, like, you know, like, if you're sterilizing your needle, rinse it off with water, I would say, before going and doing anything, because the alcohol can irritate your lip. And I had that happen like a week ago when I did this. And but I noticed results. I feel better. My lip hasn't scarred, and sometimes they say it takes like months for scarring to appear, but I'm taking the risk. If it happens, then I will post a video, and I guess I'll just be the fucking single guy with a fucked up lip at worst case. Like, whatever. Like, and I don't say that lightly. I'm not trying to joke about it, but like, I'm not waiting 8 months. I'll be out of college by then. I'll be out of college and like working and shit by then, and I'll have money. But like, I need results now, and I don't want to wait all that time just to go in and pay a bunch of money for something that doesn't work. It's a waste of time and money, and you don't deserve that. If you're struggling with these two, I recommend going and look up Fordyce Spot Removal on lips, and there's a guy, and he goes in with like tweezers and shit, and it bleeds and stuff. And it's just, I'm only making this video because I've been so bothered by it, and it just seems that everything online is so confusing. So I'm just here telling you exactly what my experience is, as a, I want to say a reassurance, but I don't want you to think that I'm like telling you to go do this. I'm just saying this is another option, but it is at your own risk. It's like a dangerous trail that says climb at your own risk. You could hurt yourself doing this, and so it's up to you to be an adult and make a decision. But I just don't want to be fucked around by doctors that don't seem to give a shit, because I don't think that doctors understand. I seriously don't think doctors understand, from the stories I've read and from my own experience, I've gone in and they're like, I don't even, what are Fordyce spots? Like, they don't even fucking know. And I'm not criticizing their knowledge. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck? Like, how is this not, I don't know. Maybe I need to go to, like, but it doesn't matter. People said they gone to dermatologists, skincare professionals and shit. And they're like, yep, no, not a concern. We're not going to treat it. Risk of scarring is too great. Okay. What a waste of time and energy and worry and self-consciousness, like all that shit is, you're gonna lose sleep over this, and it's so stupid. It's such a, first off, what a really lame bug in human programming and evolution. Yes, we're gonna put oil glands on someone's lips, but we're not gonna have like pores or whatever the fuck. Stupid shit like that. Like, and I feel really bad for people that have that shit too, because like, yeah, I just empathize with them. I get how self-conscious you can be. And my case, like, I would say is not that crazy either. And it's just, but I get like one or two here that just sometimes I feel like they're really visible. And so it's just those I focus on. And you know what? I'm happy with the results so far. And I just wanted to share my experience with it. And even after doing that, because I was like, oh, fuck, the redness is pretty bad. I asked people, I'm like, do you notice anything? Like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So they still don't see it. I see a difference, and it's better. And I feel better. I feel more confident. And I just wanted to share that with you, because if you are looking and you have no one to talk to about this, I'm here with the same shit. If you have like Fordyce spots, and I can only speak for those, but you know, it's like you're self-conscious. It's right on your face, you know, it's like right there. Anyway, take care of yourself. Be careful. Cheers.